We're back for a bonus VIP feature because Chris and I were just chatting after the interview, and we were talking about, well, I was talking about how one of my goals with a lot of the work that I do is to make the lit mag world more accessible to people, because I find so often it feels like it's about who you know and who you met at this conference and following up with this editor that you know paid a lot of money to meet, and what do you do if you're somebody who doesn't know anyone, maybe by choice or by circumstance, whatever, you're in the music scene, you're not connected. So I'm so curious how.
Yeah, that was totally me. I grew up in Oxnard, and I was not, well, my parents didn't discourage education, but they didn't necessarily push as much. I didn't go to college. I actually didn't graduate, little secret, tell no one, I didn't graduate high school till last year.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Yeah.
A bad photography teacher. But yeah, it's a long story, but it took me 25 years to get my actual diploma.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, it's not gateways necessarily, it's access, inability, knowledge, where is everything? I didn't have anybody saying, Kristen, you want to write for a magazine, send your stuff to magazines. Like, I didn't even know that. I couldn't get that far. I had no teachers telling me how to do any of that. And as far as getting access, I just built my own. That's basically what Dark Culture was, you know, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to work for a magazine, so I started one. And the same thing with 5 South is that, you know, how do you get in? How do you get your foot in the door? You make it, you know, you make your own thing and you build your own community. And, you know, one of the things that I really love about 5 South is that we're all coming together from different places with different levels of education, different resources, different knowledge, and we're all helping each other. We're becoming our own network.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying, it's who you know, so we know each other.
Right.
And, you know, it's like a spider web. It's like, I know this person, so I can connect this person, and they know this person, and we're all kind of working together. And I think that's what you have to do. Yeah. Especially kids like me who come from low income neighborhoods that have no idea. You just kind of have a vague idea, college, you know, you don't even know what that means. So you just have to sort of, hopefully there's somebody in your life. I didn't have anybody telling me what to do or where to go or how to be a writer, or I just kind of, I just knew. I started reading Ray Bradbury very early, and I just knew this is what I want to do, but I didn't know how. And it's taken me a long time to figure it out. It's been just in the last 5 years where I've realized, yeah, there is this network that I need to know about, and, you know, like the workshops and residencies and the whole massive world of literary journals, which I knew nothing about in high school or even in my 20s when I was trying to go to college and attend classes. So yeah, I think for me, it's just been about like, all right, well, I'll just figure it out. I'm going to make my own thing and then see what happens. So yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough when you don't have people telling you the insider secrets, which I, you know, I want to be that person is basically what I'm trying to do is be that person for whoever needs it.
Totally. Me too.
The little Kristens of the world that don't know.
And I think, I mean, it sounds like you're doing it in a way I really appreciate, because it's genuine and it's sincere and it's coming from what you love and what you're curious about, as opposed to this sort of, I often feel this pressure of like, I need to play the game, you know, like you need to meet the right people, you need to go to the conferences, you need to spend a lot of money, do this, do that. And I think that is part of it, you know, you have to network in your field, but there's that way of seeing it versus just building something that you love and trying to meet people that also love what you're doing and are like-minded and just sort of organically connecting to the world that you want to be a part of. That it doesn't have this kind of like, I don't know, sleazy tint to it.
I think there is, though, a little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
Like it is sort of a pay to play industry, which
Mhm.
is, um, if I was trying to do this in my 20s, it would not happen. I was
Yeah.
broke. I couldn't pay my electric bill, let
Right.
alone attend a conference or um, buy literary magazines. Like a
Mhm.
$10 literary magazine would have killed me back then. I
Yeah.
couldn't have done it. So there is that element, but I think what's good about what's been happening the last couple of years, like us and what you're doing, is creating access,
Mhm.
opening the doors, opening the gates, or even tearing down the gates. Let's just get rid of
Right.
the gates and
Right.
just, it should be like the library, access for everyone. Whoever wants to
Mhm.
read, come on in. Um, so I think more and more people are doing that, which did not exist again 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The internet barely existed 20 years
Right.
ago. So I think
Right.
it's been really amazing to see
Mhm.
just so much, I don't know, so much
Yeah.
opportunity for growth. And
Yeah.
there's
I think the internet created a lot, made a lot of this possible for sure.
yeah,
And
like
I
I
think
said,
it also it allowed more transparency, so we could actually see what's going on. Like there was this, did you see this article published? I think the journal was ASAP Journal, and it came out a few months ago, and it was about poetry awards and how like the
I think I
connection,
did.
like how many of the judges of prestigious poetry awards have themselves received poetry awards. So it's just this like endless cycle of people giving
It's
awards.
hard too, right?
Yeah.
It's that way. It's like they're all, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and they're all here's an award, they're all giving awards to each other, congratulating each other. It's yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think there definitely is that. There's many layers of the literature industry of reading and magazines and writing and all of that. There's many different layers, and I think you have to find your little
Yeah.
your little corner and make your burrow like a little rabbit. You have to make your little burrow here. And
Totally. So we'll wrap up this special bonus segment. But I just would you have any particular advice to people? Let's say you're like in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, and you don't, maybe you've been raising kids, maybe you've been teaching,
yeah,
anything, and you're not part of the MFA, you're not on that track.
I and people should know I definitely was not. I did the Kenyon Writers Workshop a couple of years ago, and I was maybe one of the only people there without an MFA. I did the Los Angeles Review of Books workshop, and I
Okay.
was again one of the only people without a PhD or an MFA.
Yeah.
You got to swallow that a little bit and just kind of don't worry about it. You're there for a reason. They picked you.
Totally.
You got to believe in that. It really comes down to believing in your own skills and your
Mhm.
own ability, and try not to let it get to you, because you are going to be sometimes the only person the only
Yeah.
person in the room without an MFA. I just yeah, I mean, getting access is about asking questions too. You have to ask questions. That's something
Totally.
I never did. I didn't want to appear stupid
Mhm.
or ignorant, like I
Yeah.
was like a little ignorant kid from the ghetto. I didn't want to embarrass myself, but yeah,
Yeah.
ask questions, talk to as many people as possible, learn as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. The older I get, the more comfortable I feel
And you don't
asking
need
questions. Yeah.
what's that?
I said the older I get, the
Oh,
more
did we
comfortable
lose you
I feel
again?
asking questions. Because I think oh, the screen looks like it froze a little bit.
Yeah, it's when you get older. When you get older, you don't care as much.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to learn it. Yeah. Well, thank you, Kristen, for this,
I think I
this
lost that
bonus
last
segment.
part.
I think our screen is freezing up a little bit, so I'm gonna stop. But thank you for this little added nuggets of
Yeah,
wisdom.
anytime.